estate agents have one of two problems. Every other reason that a real estate agent fails falls under two categories, right? They either have a knowledge gap or they have an execution gap. And for most agents, they have both because this industry as a whole always wants to push this execution gap. You're an independent contractor, go run your business, rah, rah, rah. I don't know what that means. I've never been a business owner. How do I run my business? What are you even telling me to do? So we throw all these platitudes and we throw all these fancy words out there, but we don't actually teach an agent how to become the CEO of their company. And then we somehow expect them to execute on something they don't know. And that's just silly. Nobody can execute an unknown. So when we fix this knowledge gap first, that empowers most agents to go, you know what? I now know what I'm trying to accomplish. I have a plan to accomplish it. I know exactly when I'm going to do the thing and what the thing is I'm going to do. I learned how to do the thing correctly. Now I can go run my business. Now I can go be successful. And so we fix that execution gap by addressing the knowledge gap first. But this industry is so bad at that. Pay for this and shiny object over here and lead gen this and coaching program this and CRM that. And we never actually teach them how to do it their own way.
And I want to add to that really quick because in the call that I do in building the plan, week 4 is always about building your lead generation funnels. And so that is where the knowledge gap comes in. As well as with the execution, because so many agents do one funnel and that's friends and family. They become a real estate agent and they get the word out by word of mouth, not even by producing marketing pieces or newsletters or anything like that. And this is where you have to become the owner of your business and create those lead generation funnels so that you can go out and execute and put the pieces out so people know how to find you. You know, I used to always hear about the invisible agent and we're all in, but that's because you're right. We don't know what to do. So today, Walt is here and Production Power Hour in the performance group. This is for Epic agents only. The live calls for Epic agents only. So we're putting this in the cloud monthly. We're going to have a guest speaker who's going to come in. They're going to help you with the production part. Like, how do we get you into production? How can we help you get into production by giving you the tools, the experience, the advice, like the things that have worked for us because we've done it. I've been an agent for 23 years. Walt has an amazing business and coaching platform, and he's our speaker today. So, Walt, I will let you get started with a new lead generation funnel that all agents can use.
So first thing I'm going to do is for everyone that's on the call, I'm dropping a Google Drive link in the chat. Grab that Google Drive. You can open it now and just set it aside. You can save it to a Word document. Those are the tools and resources that you're going to need to execute what we talk about today. I am not a philosopher. I am not a philosopher. I am not going to tell you this big, here's conceptually how you make this work. I am going to give you the nuts and bolts of how to do this. So what we're going to talk about today is one of several different effective lead generation strategies, but this one is easy. It's absolutely free. Any agent can do this. I don't care who you are, where you are, what your niche is. Any agent can do this. We're going to talk about building strategic partnerships in order to generate business from other professionals that already have our clients. So I'm going to share my screen really quick. I'm going to walk through a quick presentation, and then I'm going to do some actual screen share of my computer, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how to put this together. So today we're talking about one specific lead generation strategy, which is building strategic partnerships. If you don't know me already, this is just a quick snapshot of my life summed up into maybe 8 or 10 bullets. The most important thing on this is I'm a Hawaiian shirt guy. That's never mind the coach and published author and all that silliness. If you do have questions, feel free to scan that QR code. It'll take you to my contact information. Happy to answer any questions you got as you start doing this. This is what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to explain why strategic partnerships are such a great way to build your business. We'll talk about some of the different partnerships you can create. They're not all going to be the best fit for you, but I guarantee you some of them will make perfect sense. And then we'll talk about how do we find those partners? How do we even start that conversation about creating a partnership that's value-based? How do we solidify that partnership into a real, truly tangible two-way street? We'll do a little Q&A, and then I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to do a very practical how-to example of how you start this I'm going to walk you through exactly how I did it. I'm not special. I'm not smarter than you. I'm not better than you. I'm going to show you exactly what I did. It works. So with that said, let's dive right in. So let me ask this quick question. You can do a show of hands or you can drop it in the chat. How many agents on this call would be okay with an additional 5 to 10 listings a year with no ad spend, no marketing budget, no referral fees, just listings from someone saying, please help this person sell a house. Please help this person sell a house. Please help this person sell a house. I can't imagine too many people going, nah, I don't want an extra 5 or 10 listings. That's what this strategy does for you. It is absolutely no cost business based on two professionals sharing business with each other's clients when it makes sense, because you understand the value of a partnership where you grow together and you serve each other's clients to a higher level. That's all this is. But nobody thinks about it until you say it out loud and then they go, wow, why has nobody taught me how to do this? This makes perfect sense. So that's why we want to build these strategic partnerships. You can go pay some referral company to send you half-baked leads and maybe they convert, maybe they don't. When your partner introduces you to someone that needs to sell their house, that's your business. There's no, I hope I nail the listening agreement. There's no, gee, I hope they like me. When that partner who already knows and trusts that client says, Walt's the guy that needs to sell your house, you're selling that house. It's that easy. So it's a lot of fun to do this. And it helps you serve your own clients better as well. So some of the types of strategic partnerships, I'm going to use estate attorneys as the example. You'll see how I build that out. But think about all of these other professionals, licensed, certified professionals. They all have your clients already. And the fun part is you have theirs as well. So it's truly a two-way value proposition. Estate attorneys, I'm going to go through this really fast. 70% of Americans don't even have a will. Never mind a power of attorney, a medical directive, a living trust, a ladybird deed if you're in Florida. They have zero estate planning documents whatsoever. 70%. Which means every person you know, your friends, your family, your fellow agents, your past clients, your current clients, if you were to ask them, hey, did you update your will? They're going to look at you sideways and go, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even have a will. And that is your opportunity to explain to them how important it is and introduce them to your estate attorney partner. You can drive business to your partner all day long, and it's a value proposition to your own clients when you do it. Now, let's flip that on its head. Why would I want to partner with an estate attorney? Well, they specialize in walking people through the probate process and preparing them to sell assets when somebody dies in the family without a will, which happens 70% of the time. So they have all your listing business already. They just don't know it's your business yet because you haven't created the partnership. CPAs, same way. CPAs don't work with people that don't have money. CPAs are constantly advising their clients how to lower their tax basis, how to create different wealth strategies. Real estate can come up in those conversations all the time. Financial advisors, right? Imagine you have a seller and you run their net sheet and they're going to make $147,000 instantly when that deed transfers. That's probably more money than they've ever had hit their bank account at one time in their life. Don't you care about your client enough to introduce them to a financial advisor that can walk them through how to maximize that so they don't squander it like most people do? Right? There's value for you to introduce people to your financial advisor, but flip that on its head. Your financial advisor is working with people who have money, wants to make more money, likes to invest. Maybe they don't want to drop it in a mutual fund earning 6 to 8%. Maybe they want to be a little more proactive and dive into some investment real estate. Your financial advisor has your clients. Bankruptcy attorneys, the same thing. Divorce lawyers, the same way. Some people are like, well, divorce lawyers, really? Look, when someone gets a divorce, usually, not every single time, but usually there is at a minimum, a refinance, somebody gets bought out, somebody goes and buys another house. A maximum, they sell the house to split the proceeds, and now two people have to go buy again. So there's a listing and sometimes multiple buy sides in one divorce. I'm not saying be an ambulance chaser, but if you partnered with someone who specializes in this and they needed some help on the real estate side, it's a beautiful relationship to form, right? And think of all the other business professionals out there, right? There's a gazillion of them. You could go on and on and on thinking about other business professionals, but these 5 alone all have your clients and you have theirs. It's a beautiful relationship to form. Just from one of these, I said 5 to 10 listings a year. Just from one, you can generate 5 to 10 listings a year. I will tell you personally, my one estate attorney partner in 2024 and into early 2025, I either listed or closed 6 listings from one partner. This is a no-brainer once you get it going. I'll show you guys how to do it. If there are questions, drop them in the chat as we go. I'm going to move through this pretty quick, do some Q&A. And again, I want to get to the nuts and bolts of this. I want to show you the practical way that you do this. How do we find the right partners? It's important to understand, just like clients, not every single business professional out there is the right fit for you, right? There's a personality aspect to these relationships that we form. So don't stress over the fact that someone might say no to you. No different than lead generation, right? Someone's going to say no to you. That's okay. We're not looking for every partner. We're looking for the right partner that understands the value of building a relationship with another professional so that we can serve our clients better and trade business when it makes sense to, so that we can grow through each other. What I like to do is, and I'm going to show you this, is I like to find decent online presence. I'll go to Google Maps, estate attorney near me, bankruptcy attorney near me, right? CPA near me. And I'll review their online presence. Do they have a website? Do they have some decent reviews? I also don't want someone so big that they just treat everybody like a number, right? Morgan and Stanley, the largest law firm in Florida. They're not going to, they don't need me as a partner. They're not going to value the relationship. So we're looking for somebody that's got a presence. They have some Google reviews. They've got a good reputation online, but they're still looking to grow and scale their business. And they might still value people the way we do, right? And you're very rarely going to find a direct phone number on the website. Most certified professionals, lawyers, etc., they don't publish their cell phone number. You'll just use the contact us right on their website. I'll show you what that looks like. So we're going to do a little proactive searching to find the right potential partners to reach out to. I'm going to give you a template on how to reach out. And then we're going to have conversations with the partners that are interested so we can drill in on 1 or 2 specific partners that we want to create. All right, so what's that conversation look like? Well, in the Google Drive, I'm giving you a couple different things. I'm giving you a recording that I've already done of how to do this, just so you can go back and watch it again. I'm giving you a template that you can use to reach out initially through the Contact Us page of the website to start the conversation. I'm giving you a script on how that conversation goes when you're actually face-to-face with them or you're on a Zoom call. How do you walk that conversation through the creation of the partnership? So I'm going to give you all of those resources so you can go execute. Follow the 80-20 rule, right? 80% of your conversation should be personal, friendly. I'm just making a connection with you, right? You want to find common ground on a personal level or a professional level before you talk business, right? No different than your client. You're not going to go walk into your client's house and say, here's the listing agreement, sign it. You're going to say, tell me more about you. What do you have going on? Why are you looking to move? How long have you lived here? That's super great. Oh, tell me more about the kids. I have 3 as well, blah, blah, right? You're going to build some connection before you dive into business. But you are going to be very clear in your expectations when it's time to talk business. You're going to make it very clear that you are looking to build a strategic partnership that is a two-way street where the two of you can serve each other's clients at a higher level and mutually grow your businesses together. And then lastly, we're going to show up with a gift at hand. I'll explain that in a second on the next slide. So how do we solidify this partnership? How do we really take it from this concept we talk about to an actual business relationship where we're trading business? First, we're going to lead with value. I tell them literally on the Zoom, listen, this is not a one-way street. I don't want anything from you until I've proven to you that I'm serious about this partnership. So I'm going to give you business first. You can do that in a couple different ways, right? One of the ways you can do that is when you go into this call, already have identified a client that you know needs their service. Maybe you just closed the deal. Let's say you just helped a buyer client close a house a week or 2 ago, or a month or 2 ago. And you call them back up because now you realize something that you didn't know before. I should ask them if they updated their will, right? So you call that client you closed a month ago. Hey, Jan. Hey, John. How you guys doing? How you liking the new house? Hey, that's awesome. Hey, listen, I'm so sorry. I forgot to ask you when we closed. Did you update your will? Did you get your estate planning documents in order when you bought that house? 7 out of 10 times, they're going to look at you funny. Walt, we don't even have a will. Ooh. Hey, listen, I love you guys. You're like family to me now. I want to make sure you're protected. God forbid something happened to one of the two of you. I want to make sure you're estate that you're building now with this multi-$100,000 asset is protected. Hey, listen, don't stress over it. I got you. I have a phenomenal estate attorney partner. Do me a personal favor. I'm going to make a text introduction. Give them 15 minutes of your time. Let them explain why this is so important. You don't have to use their services, but I'll sleep better at night knowing you let me make the introduction. Is that okay? Can I do that for you? Sure, of course, Walt. Thank you so much. Right? Now I've got a client in mind that I'm going to introduce to my partner on the Zoom call with the partner. Hey, listen, I told you I was serious. Hold on 1 second. Hey, John. Hey, sorry, it took me a minute to get back to you. We were talking yesterday or last week about the estate attorney. I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to make a text introduction for you today. Her name is Amy. She is amazing. Give me 1 hour and I'm going to make a text introduction directly between you and the estate attorney, okay? I appreciate it, John. Thanks. And that estate attorney is going to go, that dude's not playing around. He literally just called the client and said, I'm making the connection, right? You can proactively put business in front of your partners all day long. If you are brand new to a market, let's say you have no past clients, you have no sphere. I'll give you a tangible example. I moved from Central Virginia in 2022. I moved to Florida where the only people I knew were my aunt and uncle that already had $1 million house and my sister who was a 10-year real estate agent. No sphere, no business, no past clients. I started from nothing in 2022. I still used this strategy and I started getting listings almost immediately. I offered to host an educational Zoom call for them in order to teach estate planning 101 to our local community. So I went into all my local Facebook groups. I put it on all my social profiles. I put flyers up in the local gas station, cork board, the local waiting room of the mechanic, in the cork board at the grocery store. I just started advertising that we're doing an absolutely free informational Zoom called Estate Planning 101. We're going to have a bar certified estate attorney walking through how to do this right. Sign up, jump on the call, free knowledge for our community. And I put dozens of people that, quite frankly, I didn't even know yet on a call with my estate attorney. That is a very, very tangible display that I am interested in growing your business, like I said. At that point, your partner would be kind of silly not to reciprocate, right? If I drive dozens of people to you, you should be driving some people back my way when the time is right? And then we're just like anything else in this business, we're going to do some follow-up. We're going to hold our partners to a higher standard because they're not just a customer that comes and goes. This is a partnership that we built. Partnerships come with certain standards. So I would expect if I put 15 people in front of you over the next couple months, as you clear people through probate, you're going to put some listings in front of me, and a good partner will do that for you. So it's very, very easy to actually solidify this relationship. It's just a matter of deciding what kind of partnership do I want to build? What's the right partner to reach out to? And how do I best present offer a value first so that it's easy for them to reciprocate and send me business? This is not a platitude thing. This is not, hey, I'd love to work with you when the time is right. No, listen, partner. I know you've got business. I know in the probate space, 70% of Americans don't have a will, which means you can ask them, how many people do you walk through probate on any given month? Statistically, the answer is somewhere between 3 and 7. So that's statistically 3 to 7 listings a month. Now, they're not all going to come to you. That's okay. But they should at least be talking to you about those clients when the time is right so that those clients can reach out to you. So we know they have business to send us. We know we have business to send them. And that's why the partnership is so easy to create. Okay, last but not least, and then we're going to do a quick Q&A. I want you to understand something. I put this in every single coaching call that I've ever done because you've been lied to your entire life. Knowledge is not power. Throw that silly rah-rah, knowledge is power, blah, blah. No, it isn't. Throw that crap out the window. Knowledge is nothing more than potential. And if you never execute on the knowledge and the tools and the resources you acquire, it is absolutely powerless, which is why I gave you a little bit of knowledge. I'm going to give you a little more as I walk you through this, but I gave you the tools and resources to execute on the knowledge. Nobody can execute your business but you. That's the part that you got to do for yourself. So don't miss that. Okay, I'm going to shut up for a minute. Let's open this up for a little bit of Q&A, and then I'm going to share my screen again. We're going to talk Google Maps. We're going to dive into the nuts and bolts of this. What questions do you guys have initially? Just like my head spinning. You just blew through that in 12 minutes. I'm sweet Jesus. No questions at all yet? Okay, cool. So make sure you have the Google Drive. Let's dive in. I'm going to share my screen again. I'm going to go straight into how we do this. Can everybody see my Google Maps? Thumbs up.
Yes.
So this is the nuts and bolts. This is the execution phase of this process. Google Maps, a state attorney near Keystone Heights, Florida. Why? Because I live in Keystone Heights, Florida. Makes sense, right? I'm going to look through here and I'm going to say, well, 4.6 out of 5 stars. That's pretty solid. I probably want to look at that closer. 4.7, that's not bad either. I want to look at that closer. And I'm just going to go down this. There's only about 4 in my little town. And I'm going to look at each of these. And I'm going to look at things like, do they have recent reviews? Do they have an active website? Or are they, is it obvious that they are in the business? So for example, I won't bore you with the process, but when I researched Paul Newell, his website goes to a dead link. He hasn't had a review in 3 years. I did some research on Florida Bar. He passed away 5 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever else. Okay, so obviously he's not my partner. I don't typically work with dead people. I can't, right? That doesn't help anybody, right? So we know that Paul Newell is not my partner. And I just went down the line, 5 stars, but only 1 review. And it's an eminent domain lawyer. I don't need an eminent domain lawyer. I need an estate attorney. So Mark, while I'm sure he's a great guy, is not my guy. And then Taylor and Taylor, and then Veronica Owens. So as it turns out, Veronica Owens specializes in family law, real estate, and estate planning. That's my estate attorney partner that I have here in the Keystone Heights area. I have just closed a deal, my very first deal actually of the year, January 9th. I closed on a transaction that was handed to me by Veronica Owens, listed a house over in Flora Home. I have another one on the market right this second. That's how easy the process is. You just want to look for decent online presence, reviews that make sense, right? You're looking at this and you're going, okay, let's just do a quick scan. When was the last review? 2 months ago. She's obviously still active. We just go through the list and we just check it out and make sure it's legit. If you were to go, as an example, go down here to Paul Newell, you'll notice that his last review was 2 years ago. And even though he has a website listed, if you go to his website, doesn't exist anymore, right? So obviously that's not my partner. That I can't work with that. And then once I've identified a few, right? You don't want to just do one. If you get a bigger market and there's several different estate attorneys, several different CPAs, you want to reach out to multiple if you can, okay? So I'm going to give you another example. So as I was doing this in Gainesville, which is a market about 30 minutes from me, right? It's a different county. So I have different estate attorneys in different counties. Same process. I went through about 10 different estate attorneys in Gainesville. I found 3 that had solid reviews. I felt like they did what I wanted them to do. They just felt like they understood the relationship value. And I reached out to all 3 of them. So this is how it worked. I'm just going to use OC Law Group as an example because that's my actual estate attorney partner in Gainesville. I went to their website. The first thing I want to know is, do they do estate planning? Right? If that's not something they do, there's lots of different types of lawyers, right? If they don't do estate planning, I don't need to reach out to them. They're not the right fit. So right from their website, wills, trust, probate, real estate. These are my people, right? That's exactly what I'm looking for. Practice areas, estate planning. That's what they do. So then I went to attorneys and I looked up the attorneys, and Katie Nepper is their estate attorney. She's the one that focuses on wills, probate, power of attorney, etc. Read her bio, went to contact us, filled out the info, and in the message, the Google Drive that I gave you, the one that says email template, verbatim, that's what I put in the contact us page of 3 different attorneys. You can tweak that, make it your own, adjust the verbiage, but what I gave you is copy and paste by the word what I sent to 3 different estate attorneys. So boom, 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 submit. One of those estate attorneys never got back to me. Great. They're not my partner. Don't have to waste any more time figuring that out. One of them got back to me and said, hey, Walt, thanks so much, but we're not interested. Great. They're not my partner. Don't have to waste any more time figuring that out. The third one, their office admin at OC Law Group got back to me and said, hey, Walt, thanks so much for your message. Mrs. OC, right, OC Law Group, doesn't do estate planning, but Katie Nepper is our estate attorney, and she would love to have a conversation with you. When can we set up a meeting? So we set up a meeting. It was a Zoom call. And then I went back and I read Katie's bio again. Now, remember that 80-20 rule, right? I want to talk personally. I want to make a connection before I ever even talk about business. So I went and I read her bio very carefully. And I went through her bio And it said things like she was named the Big East Academic All-Star Team. Student athlete. Great. I'm a former marathon runner. I'm an athlete. We got a connection immediately. As I kept reading, she graduated with honors from college. Great. I graduated summa cum laude with a 4.0. We're academically aligned. We have common interest, right? As I kept reading down the list, it talks about how she loves to hang out with her family and travel, and she has dogs. I have a family. I have dogs. I've been to 25 different countries. So I just pinged in, I honed in on all those little things that we had in common on a personal level. So I knew we could talk about those things first. Because just like your client, you want to create some connection before you talk business. So that's what I did. I made a little Word document and I highlighted those things. And on the day of the Zoom call, I had that Word document up. And I said, hey, it's so great to meet you face to face. Thanks so much. Hey, before we talk business, I just had a couple quick questions for you. She said, sure, absolutely. I said, I see on your bio, you have dogs. I have 5. What kind of dogs do you have? And we talked about our dogs for 10 minutes. I see on your bio that you love to travel. I've been to 25 different countries I love to travel to. What's your favorite country you've ever been to? And we talked for 10 minutes about how when she was a kid, high school, she went to England for a study abroad program, and she was there for months, and she absolutely loved it. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. When I was 15 years old, I was living in Europe as well. So cool, right? On a 30, 40-minute Zoom call, we talked 10 minutes about business. We were just making a connection on a personal. And I said, hey, sorry to take up all your time. You're really easy to talk to. This was fun. Let's talk business really quick. I think you already understand where I'm coming from the message that I sent. Here's what I'm looking to do. And I used the script that I gave you guys in the Google Drive to walk her through. I am looking to create a strategic partnership where we can mutually benefit each other's clients, serve each other's clients at a higher level, and grow our businesses together. Does that sound like something you're interested in jumping in with? Yeah, of course. Sounds great. What do you have in mind? Well, listen, this is not a one-way street. This is not where I ask you to send me stuff. And I want to show you that I'm serious about this partnership before I ever ask anything in return. So what I'd like to do for you, if you're open to it, I'd like to host a Zoom call. Let's call it Estate Planning 101. You probably already have a presentation built, don't you? Oh yeah, we built some stuff already. We got perfect. Pick a day, maybe next month, and let me do the marketing, let me do the advertising. And I just want to put a bunch of people on a Zoom call that want to hear what you have to say so that you can educate them in order to empower them to work with you. Can I do that for you? Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Great. And then we just talked about what day we're going to do it, what time of the day we're going to do it. Here's how it's going to work. When it's over, I'm going to send you everybody's email, and I'm going to do a wrap-up summary email with the recording, say thank you to everybody. You'll have all their contact information as well. I just want to drive business to my new partner. And the rest was history. We hosted that Zoom call. I got to create a lot of new relationships in my community because they reached out from the local community Facebook groups. And Katie Nepper, a few months later, I got a phone call as I was driving away from a listing appointment, and I got a phone call, and I had to listen to the voicemail because I was getting in my car when the person called. And I get this voicemail, and it said, hi, Walt, my name is Cindy. You don't know me. Katie Nepper gave me your number. I need to sell my late sister's house. When can we meet? Okay. I called her back. And I said, what questions do you have for me? I'm so sorry to hear about your sister. Tell me more about what you have going on. And she's like, yeah, she passed a few months ago. Katie's been wonderful. She just cleared us through probate. We're ready to sell the house. We're just ready to get it on the market. It's actually almost completely brand new. She didn't even live in it because as soon as she remodeled it, she got sick. When can we list it? I said, oh, well, listen, I'd love to meet you there and just kind of talk about the process if you'd like. Yeah, that'd be fine. When can you meet me? Tomorrow. Met her tomorrow morning. Brought my kind of standard listing appointment, CMA stuff, walked through the house with her. And I said, well, before we talk numbers, what questions do you have for me? And she said, I don't have any questions. When do we put it on the market? I mean, literally, I did not have to work for that at all. Katie said, you're the guy. You're the guy. List my house. And a few months later, I listed another house. And a few months later, I listed another house. Because she's walking people through that probate process. She's with them for months, walking them through that legal process. They're building a wonderful relationship. When she says, congratulations, you're ready to list your house now. If you don't already have a wonderful real estate agent you're working with, I would love to connect you to my realtor partner, Walt. He's phenomenal. He'll take care of you. Yeah, connect me to Walt. Absolutely. We trust you, Katie. Simple as that. Okay, enough of that. Questions, comments, thoughts. And Antonella, I saw your hand go up for a second there. Did you have a question?
Yes, yes, you're amazing. Thank you so much for doing this. But I just had a question on when you do the Zoom calls with your partners, are you creating an event for your community, or are you bringing past clients? Like, I have a partner as well for an estate attorney, but I just wanted to know how you're getting,
Yes.
people to attend that call.
So the answer is yes. You're
Okay.
doing this for your past clients. You're doing this for your current clients. You're doing this for your local Facebook community that may not even know you yet. You're putting this out as far as and wide as you can, and you host this Zoom call for anyone who wants to jump on and learn what they need to learn. Don't ever think like, well, I can only do it with these amount of people or only do it from those amount of people. Do this as far and as wide as you can do it. What I did is I went to Eventbrite and I created the event. Estate Planning 101. Here's the 4 or 5 bullets we're going to talk about. Ladybird deeds and wills and power of trust, blah, 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 blah. And it's absolutely free. Florida bar certified attorney is going to be talking. Jump in, sign up. It's absolutely no cost. Then I went and I made a social media post, put it on my Facebook. I put it in probably 12 to 18 different local community Facebook groups. What's going on, Keystone Heights, word of mouth, Palatka, Florida, Putnam County community news, all of those kind of chatty Cathy
Right.
community groups where people are just like, whose dog is that running loose? What are all those cop cars? You guys know those groups, right? Who knows a good plumber? I put it into all of those groups and just said, hey, if you want to jump in on this, here's the link to register. It's absolutely free. We're just giving out some knowledge. And then I just hosted the call. Everyone that registered, I put them on the calendar invite with the Zoom link. On the day of the Zoom link, everybody jumped on. They had a great conversation. The rest was history. I mean, it really was that easy. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's what I thought, but I just
Yeah.
wanted to ask.
Yeah. No, you're
Thank you.
100%. Anybody else? Questions, thoughts, comments?
Hi, one Walt.
What you got?
It's MJ. I activated my appraiser license because I was thinking of when I was thinking of doing this, going to estate attorneys, plural. And it sounds like your logic is more getting a deeper connection with one. Are you ever tempted to branch out and hit a couple different?
Well, here's the thing. I want genuine partnerships where they value me as much as I value them. I don't want to just walk in and say, hey, I can offer you a service. Anyone can be a service provider. I'm not looking for a service provider. I'm the CEO of my company. I'm stacking my board of directors, right? I want people around me that are going to pour into me as much as I pour into them. So I'm very diligent about a partnership. Now, that doesn't mean you only have one, though. Let's be clear. Think about the radius that you service. If you were to go to Google Maps right now, and you might draw 30 minutes in any direction of your house, would you service 30 minutes away? Most people would, right? Well, that means that's an hour radius from end to end. A client over here doesn't want to drive an hour over here to talk to an attorney or a CPA or a financial advisor, right? They want closer. They want to be able to go 15, 20 minutes. I got my partner. So you can create multiple partnerships with estate attorneys in different pockets of your market. You can create multiple partnerships with CPAs in different pockets of your market, right? So don't think you only have to have one. For example, again, I sit within a 15-minute drive of 4 different counties. Now, any estate attorney can service all of the counties. But what it means to have 4 different counties is I've got Facebook community groups designed for Alachua County. I've got Facebook groups designed for Clay County, designed for Bradford County. So I can host separate Zoom calls for separate crowds with separate partners. It's valuable to everybody still. So you don't have to only have one partner in a particular category, but you absolutely want to make it clear, I am not interested in a service provider. anyone I can pay to give me a service. I'm looking for a partner who understands the value of us working together and growing our business. And that's an important distinction that you want to be very upfront about right from the get-go. Make sense?
It does. Thank you.
All righty. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? I know this is not super complex. Most people just never think to do it. Or if they've had the thought to talk to those people, they haven't really thought about how to talk to them correctly to form a solid partnership where it makes sense. So that's why I'm giving you the resources to help you with that.
I have a question. This is Lisa. I'm just curious, that first Zoom that you did, how many people showed up? If you remember.
Oh gosh, that was like in 2022, 2023, maybe 23. Dozens. I can't remember the exact number.
Oh, so quite a few.
It was dozens. Here's the thing. It doesn't, I mean, whether there's 5 or 50, it doesn't really matter, right?
Right.
Because what happens is you show a very deliberate intention to grow your partner's business. That's
Yep.
all we're doing here, right? If I put 50 people on a Zoom call and nobody reached out to her after the Zoom call, that's unfortunate. That's very rare that would happen. It's unfortunate, but I still put 50 people on a Zoom call with her. I still put her in front of potential. And then, of course, when they register, you're going to get their email address. Everybody, whether they show up to the Zoom call or not, because really 30 to 40% of people that register show up on a Zoom call, statistically, right? Everybody gets a follow-up email afterwards. Thank you all so much for attending. Wow, that was amazing. I hope you got as much information from Katie as I did. That was super amazing. Here's the replay in case you need to watch it again. And oh, by the way, here's Katie's contact information. So if you had a question you didn't want to ask publicly, reach out to her. Here's her name, her phone number, her email. Reach out to her directly. And oh, by the way, everyone's on the 2 line. Katie's on the CC line. So Katie gets all of that contact information. So if she has a newsletter she sends to her clients, if she has a follow-up mechanism, if she wants to reach back out and say, hey, by the way, here's a free 12-page PDF about the overviews of estate planning, she can engage with them as well. So you're just trying to add as much value as you can by putting people in front of her in a very meaningful way. And then the follow-up is on them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, this is great. All great, really.
I know it's not rocket surgery, but it's one of those things, like we talked about this at the beginning. Everyone wants to tell you to go run your business. Rah, 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 you're an independent contractor, go run your business. What the hell does that mean? This is how you run your business. This is one of several strategies that you can execute right now to start building partnerships and generating business for yourself and your partners. Now you just got to go execute the strategy. Find time on your calendar to go look up on Google Maps and find some people to reach out to. Find a couple partners that are willing to have a conversation with you. Book a time to jump on a Zoom call with them. And on the Zoom call, have a conversation about how we solidify the relationship. Would love to host a Zoom call for you. Put a bunch of people in front of you first. I will lead with value and offer to grow your business before I ask you to send me anything. Right. And the rest takes care of itself.
I had a quick question.
Yeah.
Well, so I heard you say that you take everybody, you obviously put them in your CRM, do the follow-up email. Are you doing anything else with them afterwards, or you're just letting your strategic partner take care of the rest?
So if you're smart and you have a campaign built out in your own CRM as some sort of touch point, then by all means, put them on it. Send them a weekly newsletter of the local community if you have one. Send them a bi-weekly text campaign that says, happy Friday, hope you have an amazing weekend. What are you doing? Right? Just engage with them in some way so that they continue to know that you're the real estate agent. Here's the beautiful thing about follow-up. So many people overcomplicate this. One, it is the most critical component of your business. Second only to, and honestly tied with, lead generation. You can do all the lead generation you want, and if you never follow up with anybody, you're not going to close business. But you can have the best follow-up mechanisms in the world, but if you don't have anyone to follow up with, it's useless. So lead generation and follow-up are on equal footing as the most important thing in your business. How you follow up matters far less than the fact that you follow up consistently. Because the touch point, and I call it touch point on purpose, I'll get to that in a second. The touch point doesn't have to be some super polished, amazing, salesy thing. It's just a reminder of the last interaction you had, which in this case will be, oh yeah, Walt just said happy Friday. Walt's the guy who put me in front of Katie, the estate attorney. That was super valuable information. Boom, I reminded them of a positive experience, and they know that I'm in real estate because I introduced myself on the call, right? The touch points are just reminders of the last great interaction you had. So don't overcomplicate those, right? You can do a community newsletter. You can do a monthly market report. You can do literally a bi-weekly every Friday. Happy Friday. I hope you have an amazing weekend. What do you have planned? And you can just engage with the people that engage back with you, right? Follow-up is so super critical. What else we got? Any last minute questions, thoughts, concerns before we wrap this up?
Great call.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're
You're
very welcome.
amazing.
And I am
I'll turn it
recording
back over
it.
to you if you got any last minute things.
I am recording it, and I will put the recording in the performance group for those of you that were late.
And if Dawn, if you want to take that Google
I
Drive,
will. I'll put
you're
that in
welcome
there
to
as
put
well.
that in there as well, so
I will.
anybody can have it.
I
We're
do.
all here to add as much value as we can.
Absolutely. This is great lead generation funnel.
One last thing, Walt, what did you say instead of knowledge is power?
Knowledge is potential, right? You can acquire all of the knowledge in the world, but if you never execute on any of the knowledge, it's powerless. You have to go do some work, right? I have, as an example, I have a degree. I graduated with a 4.0 GPA with a business and entrepreneurship degree. Whoopity freaking do. If I never did anything with that knowledge, it doesn't matter one bit that I graduated with a 4.0 GPA, right? The work you put in consistently will trump the knowledge you gain all day long. You got to know what to do, but if you know what to do and you don't do it, you're shooting yourself in the foot every time.
Love that.
Yep. All righty. Well,
Thank
that's it.
you,
I'll
Walt.
let
That was
everybody-
great.
Yep. Thank you, Walt.
Great
You're
information.
very welcome.
All right. Thank you, Walt.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
You guys have a great day.
Close the video. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great day.